What's going on, everybody? It's Quicksilver, and today we are back in the Fight Club slash Mob Sorter slash I don't even know what to call this thing anymore. We got so many things working with it. Let me see. I think the end of my last video, and if you have not seen it or the one before it, I suggest you watch those because they will keep you up to speed and help you understand a lot of what's going on here. Basically, I think the last video we had finished out the Mob Sorter here and done a couple of tests. Still haven't found a second cat to throw in here for the creeper sorter, but we were checking everything. We had this thing chock full of zombies, I guess, in here, and this was chock full of skeletons, and we had a witch in there, and then we had I guess creepers up and over the top hanging out down in here. I have done a couple of things since then. I want to kind of give you guys a rundown on that, other than the fact that I have snow all over the top of this thing now. I have a feeling that's just going to get worse every time I come back over here, though. So eventually I'm just not going to worry about it. Let's see. I guess to give you a quick little rundown on what I have done. Gosh, I'm trying to think where I should start, guys. I guess the best way to start would be to explain kind of, I guess, where we were before. So before we were, I guess we're hanging out over here. Yeah, gosh, I guess the best way to do this is kind of give you an overview. Pretend you haven't seen that much of this or any of this. Basically, when we send power into that block where that lever is, it's going to toggle our, I guess, our mob evader up here, so that instead of sending the mobs into our mob XP farm, the first one that we built that we don't really use anymore, it's going to divert them down this little central channel here. Let's just go inside there. It'll divert them down there. Down here, so this wall opens up, water starts flooding down here and pushes everybody down to the end here. The creepers get down here, they see this cat, and ultimately there will be another one sitting here to help push them along the way, and they will get scared, run over here and drop down into this little sorting area. Down here the zombies will see him and go, hey, that's pretty cool, and they'll try and jump into here. I see a leg through there. I think we have something there. Maybe it's just an arrow. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'm going to go with arrow. Anyway, so the zombies will then run down here, get stuck in there, and then anything that's left, which would be skeletons and witches, will get dumped down here. One thing to note, I did make a slight change in this thing, just to make this easier for us, and what I'll explain next. I did move this one back. The old receptacle here was just a 2 by 2 by 2 block deep, I guess a cube, really. I've gone ahead, I've moved that back one additional block, and I'll explain why in just a minute. So that is what we've done, and what that does is that lets us sort our mobs out. But that's not good enough, because we want to make an actual fight club so that we can actually have our mobs duke it out. So I've gone ahead, I've done a little more work here. I'm going to go ahead and leave that open for now so that I can show you a little more. This is our little mob viewing platform. I already showed you this, so we don't have to do that again. But I'll go ahead and I'll drop down here a little further, and I've also made another little platform here, and I have built up a whole mess of stuff here. And I almost feel like I cheated on you guys a little bit, but I didn't really do that much here. I will show you in, I guess, the creeper area here. Basically what I've done is I have built our sorting channels out now, so that what we can do is when we run power into certain blocks over here, we'll be able to open up the one little square in the bottom of the sorting chambers where the mobs are hanging out. And what that's going to do is it's going to push our mobs down into these little sorting channels so that we can control which mobs we want when we want them to drop them off into our fight club. So I guess just to show you here, this is the creeper sorting tube, and what will happen is when we power it, this block will open up right here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how I have that set up. Right now I'm just using a lever to do it. I have found the corner that I want in the creeper sorting area, which is right here. And I've got a sticky piston attached to that block, so when we unpower, I guess, that sticky piston, and right now I'm just doing it via this little guy right here, we open that one little hole up in there so that anything that is in this little sorting area here, which are our creepers, will be able to drop down in here. Well, what good does that do, you might ask, right? Because they can't really get there, or I'm not going to wait for them to wander over there. I'm going to make one more modification to this thing. Actually, to each one of the sorting chambers in there, I am going to do... let's get up there so I can actually show you. Come on, creeper sorters. Man, those mobs are loud. I'm going to have to kill them. Okay, what I have got here, let me grab my water bucket. There's our opening, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to perpetually leave that in here. So what we end up with really is all the spots where the creepers can hang out are all pushing over into that spot, except for this one block here. So I think if there's one creeper in here and he just wants to hang out and be a lame ass, that's fine. He can do that. I think we'll have enough of them that we can shove them around. So yeah, ultimately I will leave water in there, and that sign is just there to block it off. Then we can do the same thing over here in the zombie sorting area, and that will do the same thing. That's the block that opens up for those guys. Same kind of a setup, and I'll show you where all that stuff is. And then for the skeletons and witches, we do this. And that is why I widened this thing out by one block, because if I didn't widen it out, then really I put the water source here, and it pushed this way straight and this way straight. So it wasn't actually pushing anything on an angle. Like if you look at the water, you can actually see it flowing on angle over towards that wall, which is what we want to shove them down into those holes. So when we're all done with the sorting areas and all that good stuff, that's what's going to let us control what mobs go where, and let us call them down for the various purposes for which we want to use them. And I'll reiterate, I don't know what that word is, but we're making up new stuff here. It's crazy day. Anyway, I'll reiterate what we are going to do. What the plan is the top floor. I'm going to build a tower on the far side of this little sorting area. Let's see, let's hop down here. And as you might have just noticed there, I actually have one already working here. I'm going to build a room that's just going to kind of float in the middle of nothing over here, is kind of what the original thought was, but that's going to suck. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to build a tower. It's not going to look anything like that guy, that big chess piece looking thing. I've never really loved that very much. I'm going to go for really a big square shaped tower. I'm going to build a couple of floors in this thing. Not sure what I'm going to do on the bottom-most floors, although I've had a couple thoughts lately that I'll share with you if I decide to do them. But the topmost floor is going to be our fight club, where we will sort the skeletons and zombies into there. The creepers then we will sort down to the room that's going to be below that. We'll probably just have a drop chute or something in the fight club room where we'll actually be able to see them zip by. And what will happen is when we drop the creepers down, they'll go into a record studio that'll be on the second level, I guess, down from the top. So whatever's on the bottom, topmost level is going to be Fight Club. Level underneath that will be a record studio, so that we can have our skeletons, if we want them to. This is going to take some redstone doing. I'll be able to hit a button, and instead of having the skeletons go into our Fight Club, they'll actually drop down one more level, and they'll go into where we can use them to create records with the creepers. So that is the idea, and as you guys can tell, it's a pretty ambitious project, which I think this is probably the 4th installation of the project. So let me go ahead and do this so I don't forget and get creeper stew out here, which would be very bad. Make sure that thing closed. I'm pretty sure it did, but I'm just being paranoid with you, because paranoia is never a bad thing with stuff like this. I already had a creeper blow this platform up once when I was working on it. It really pissed me off. So don't want to do that again. So there we go. That is that, guys. Now I'm going to take us down low over here and kind of show you what I got working for the tower on the bottommost level. Still love this water elevator. Although, you know, I've had some weird stuff going on in my world. I don't know if my files are getting corrupt or what, but I actually have my stained glass down here disappeared. I don't know, you guys may remember a little while ago I told you some of the dark oak trees that I planted over there vanished. All my sunflowers vanished, all that good stuff. Now I got this stuff going away on me. I'm not sure what's happening, but I don't like it. So anyway, here we're down at the base, and what I've done is I've just split this off. This is to go to our skeleton spawner tower, and then this will be to go to our fight club. Like I said, I wanted to make this build a little more impressive, so I've got kind of this, I forget, there's actually a word for what this weird kind of fluting stuff is here. It's like some medieval term for strengthening a tower, making it more resistant to, I guess, battering rams and whatnot. But anyway, for Minecraft purposes, I just think it looks pretty cool. Kind of breaks up the surface so we don't just have a big flat surface there. I've started to maybe do it around the side over here too, but I don't know. See, that's the difference, I guess. If I didn't have that fluting, it would look like that. But since we have the fluting on there, we get this kind of cool look. This tower is going to be absolutely massive too, by the way, guys. And I'm not going to take that fluting all the way up. Let me back off a little bit here. I actually wanted to break it up a little bit so it'll look better from a distance. Well, you can't really tell, but at the top of those I've got some steps right there. So that's the height where that fluting is going to stop. Then we'll have just a smooth tower going up most of the rest of the way till we reach the level that we want it for our fight club to start getting built. So that is what we have there. Right now I've just got grass flooring in here. This was actually all water at one point in time, so I'm pretty pleased with it. I've done a little bit of bric-a-bracy stuff here. I may try and make some sort of a piston door that lets it look like we're still open and just kind of move half slabs up and down. Or leave them up so that it's closed all the time, and then, you know, if you push a button they'll pop down and we can walk in and then they'll come up behind us. But not entirely sure yet there. Right now what I'm working on is I'm trying to get a bunch more building materials. Where is that damn guy? I keep hearing that stupid Enderman down there. I don't like that. So alright, I am going to go up here, and I'm actually going to go AFK for a little bit, guys. What I've been doing is just seriously, you know what, before I go AFK, let's go in here. Oh wow, I kept hearing that spider. I thought he was in here. I'm going to go AFK now though, and I'm going to go ahead. What I've been doing is I'm just going down the mine and just chewing through stuff so that I can try and get a lot of cobblestone. Believe it or not, I've not been doing much mining in a game called Minecraft. Where's the irony there, right? I've not been doing a ton of mining, and as a result I've actually used up all but I think like 2 stacks of cobblestone. So I did make one little run down there. I think I actually ran out of some fuel sources because I had a ton of stuff in there. I might have run out again. Yeah, see, so we've got some of this stuff in here. Oh, that looks like I just saw one pop in there. Yeah, so alright, I'm going to go AFK I think for a little bit and see if we can't get either some more building materials out of that to build that tower up more. If not, I'll go do some mining, and I will check back in here with you. My goal today, guys, is I want to get that tower finished. Like I said, it might be a little bit of an aesthetic build that I'll do kind of in parts with you rather than make you watch the whole thing, but it's going to have a pretty good presence over there, as I can see right here, and it's going to have to go up to about, I think, like this level. So I think we're maybe 2/3, well, probably a halfway done, I'm going to guess, with where we need to take that thing. So I'm hoping it doesn't look too squat. Man, if it does, I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll build over and make it look like it belongs a little bit more. But I don't know. We'll see what we kind of end up with. I'm not one of those builders that kind of approaches things with a really good, clear plan in mind for aesthetic stuff. I just kind of build and kind of see what unfolds and then try and make it work as best as I can. So don't really have a huge plan for this thing other than I knew I wanted it to be kind of a squared off, rectangle-y looking thing, but I didn't want, you know, sharp corners or anything like that on it. So I do have them a little rounded, but we will see what we get, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay guys, so here's a quick little progress update for you on this build. It's not really a good place to get a good look at this thing from, but I think I'm kind of liking the way that's shaping up. Basically what I've found is it takes literally one complete stack of those things to do one layer of this thing. So as you can tell, I've gone through a lot of stone bricks to get this to where it is. What I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to widen that back out for the top of the tower up here. And I think I'm actually going to do kind of the inverse of this thing. I'm going to bring this up 2 levels, and then I'll bring another set of steps probably right around there-ish, and then bring everything up again so we can level it out and get a nice top on tower crown. I don't know what you call the top of a tower, but whatever you call the top of a tower, on top of there. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so we can get a nice top up there, and I'm thinking it looks kind of squat to me right now. I have a feeling once we get a top on this thing, it's still going to feel that way to me. So I'm thinking what I may do is on the other side of this, cool, I was afraid I was going to smack myself there. Grab a couple of those guys. I think what I might do, and I believe I didn't think of this before, on the other side of this ender pearl elevator, so it's kind of bugged me, it doesn't connect anywhere, so I think we'll be able to connect it probably right here over to the Fight Club. I think I'm going to bring this tower level. My initial thought was to bring it up, you know, underneath this and let the mobs kind of drop down into it. I think I'm actually going to bring it up maybe in line with this on the height of that. So it's going to be a pretty tall build that we're going to have going here. I'll have to kind of noodle around how they're going to feed into the Fight Club. I don't want them to just kind of get washed in. I can actually drop them in, or else they'll fight the current and the iron golems will just stand near the entrances and all that good stuff. But we'll figure something out. Maybe Fight Club will go down a level 2. Who knows? We'll figure something cool out to do with it. But anyway, that is kind of where I'm headed with it for right now. So this tower will actually connect over to here, and then probably, I'm thinking in some way, shape, or form to here, although it's not really a direct connection there. It kind of connects right there on that corner. So maybe we'll build a flight of steps down and then over and then back into it in the center or something that looks cool. So anyway, that is an update there. I am out of bricks, so it is back down to the mine I go. Okay, it has been a really long night of mining and waiting for stone to smelt, but I'm feeling pretty good about this thing, guys. It's really late, and I'm gonna call it a night here pretty soon, but I will be back in here with you guys tomorrow to tell you more, which will just be a blink of an eye for you guys. Just to kind of show you what we've got, I've actually finished, I think, the top of the tower. I need to still put a roof on it, as you guys probably saw. But I'm pleased with the way it's turned out. I think it looks pretty cool. If we go inside here, it actually, I was able to noodle out the way that I want the drops to work out for the mobs as well. So I guess right now I could probably, yeah, it looks like I could probably turn it on and let mobs just fall to their doom over here. Except I do still need to get the, I guess, the pushers in place, or the water pushers in place to properly punish them. But it's a lot nicer to get in and out of the build itself at this point now too, so I'm a lot more pleased about that. Because at this point I can very easily walk over to here onto this temporary platform that I was using while I'm working on the rest of this stuff, and voila, here I am on top. So basically all I did, this is where we had stopped before with these things, I just extended them out. Realized after I built both the creeper and the skeleton drops, and they worked flawlessly. The zombie one, when I had my water dropped in here, it stopped right here, just 2 blocks shy of where I actually want to spit them out. So I did have to lower everything down by 1 block. So, and that's okay, I don't really mind that a ton. I still need to close these guys off, but right now, if I were to turn the mob sorter on, and I had water in the actual areas where the mobs get sorted into, then I could flip a switch. Like for example, I could do that, and then any skeletons and witches would fall through here and drop down here till they're to their death. I've gone ahead and I moved my signs down to here, so I know those are skeletons, I know these are creepers, and I know that these zombies are over here. So that's going to help me when I'm trying to align everything probably tomorrow. Again, just a blink of an eye for you guys. I'm not sure how much of that you will get to see, but we're getting to the good parts, I promise, guys. So I think what I'm going to do is right there where that little ridge is where I'm going to put in the floor for Fight Club. And this will be, I guess, just our ceiling. I think that's going to be about 5 blocks high, maybe 4 blocks high. Mobs are going to drop out here, so I think the mobs would drop out 3 blocks, which is perfect. They shouldn't take any damage because they're going to be one-hit kills. And then I'm thinking on this, I'll probably just make this half of the room into the Fight Club. I'll just glass it off and throw, hello, don't want to be in there. throw an iron golem in there or two, and just kind of see what happens with it. But yeah, I guess the next thing I've got to do, really is aesthetic as well as got to do it, is I guess I got to start putting floors in here, and I think I'm just going to run a minecart elevator up this thing, probably from against this back wall over here. That way I'm as far away from the mob sorter as I need to be. I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with the skeletons. The creepers I don't need to worry about. I can just drop those guys straight through the Fight Club and down to the floor below it, where I can have them be caught into our record studio. Probably have just like a water break or something like that so they don't end up getting hurt. But the skeletons, I'm going to have to work out something a little special here. I think I'm going to have to find a way to maybe divert their water so that we can run them over to here, and then make this be an area where they can drop down to the record studio as well. But I'm not even going to think about that tonight, guys, because if you can't hear it in my voice, I am really tired. So I'm going to go ahead and call it, and I guess I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll check the length on this thing as well. I know I'm long-winded, so I'm probably getting close to the end here, but hopefully not. Hopefully we'll get to do a little bit more with this thing. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. Alright, it is a new day, and I am not nearly as tired as I was last night. I went ahead and I finished out the, I don't know if we want to call these mob spigots or what we want to call them, but I did turn the system on just so we can give it a full test and make sure that this thing's going to poop out mobs the way we want it to. We'll have zombies coming out of this side, skeletons here, and creepers on the far side that we'll send through down to whatever level this is going to be for the record studio. So let's go ahead over here. I'm pretty sure I've got some noisy mobs in there, and we will just test them, I guess, one at a time. So since I don't have a remote system set up, we'll do this, and then we'll rush back over here, and hopefully we will get to see them drop out. Yep, there we go. There's 1, 2, and I think there might have been a third one in there. Maybe not. I'll just leave it on and we'll see what happens. I did notice that they do want to fight the current in there a lot. Not the current, but they want to use that one dead space that I mentioned before a lot. So I don't really like that, but I'm not sure there's a whole lot I can do about it. It's just the way water works. But yeah, there we go. Wow, they kind of poop out of there pretty quick too. Oh, there we go. There's another one. Okay, that's a beautiful thing. So I guess the last thing to check out are the creepers, and this is going to feel good because I can't stand these guys. So we'll do that, and we'll run back around on this side just to make sure that guy's working, and if so, I'm going to say we've got our mob separator set up. Oh, hello. Can't have that. Oh, looks like we got another skeleton. There we go. Well, that'll be fine when we're ready for it, right? Come on, creepers. I guess they've got the longest way to travel though too, so I should give them a little more time before I start getting impatient. Okay, I'm getting more and more impatient. You know what though? I have noticed out of all the mobs, it seems like creepers have a pretty quick despawn rate. I'm not sure what that is about, but I do know that I had 3 creepers in the system. Yeah, see, you can hear, see the floodgates are open, but he's kind of hanging out over in that dead spot. Skeletons behaved. Seems like the skeletons bounce around a lot more in the water than the mobs do as well. But yeah, see, so that's our last creeper, I guess. There. They're just not going to cooperate, are they? All right. Well, looks like the other 2 are missing at least, but I think we can call that a pretty successful test there, guys. I'll tell you what, I am going to use a little trickery here. There's some really big stuff. Okay, so here we have some definite mob drops, so we're definitely, I mean, I think we knew we killed those guys. I was hoping to come down here and see a surprise gunpowder or something, but it doesn't look like the creepers cooperated. I think the other 2 that were in there got away from us. But what do you do? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to call that a pretty successful test of that thing. So I guess at this point I've got some aesthetic work to do. I want to connect up this side of the Ender Pearl elevator to our tower. I want to finish out the top of the tower for that matter too. I want to kind of hide that into it. Then I'm also going to find a way to wire up our redstone so that we can control those blocks that have our levers on them currently from a more remote location. So that is it, guys. I think I'm going to call this the end of the video. So if you liked what you saw, please give me a thumbs up, share with your friends, all that good stuff. And if you are not already a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. And I will catch you guys next time, where I will probably watch more mobs fall to their doom. Kind of liking this whole spigot thing. So, alright guys, I will catch you next time.